I am so excited for all these calls, but I am pumped as always to introduce our guest tonight. Her name is Misty Springer. I met Misty, oh, call it's been years now, right, Mist?
Yeah, I can't believe how long it's been.
Yeah, it's been a really long time. We years ago we were both speaking at a women's conference up in Salt Lake City, and I just happened to pick a lucky card and go into her class when she was lecturing, and I was like, "This woman is so awesome." So when I was back home and doing these kinds of things that I do, I had to make sure I reconnected with her to get her to present on the different places that I've done what I do. So I am so excited to have her. Misty is a certified life coach as well, and she has years and years of experience in mental and behavioral wellness. And I am so excited to have her. I'll have her just give us a short little synopsis of herself, and then she's going to get going with some meditation and tapping techniques for us tonight.
Yeah,
So pumped about it. Go for it, Miss.
fantastic. Well, I am excited to be here with all of you. So, just a tiny bit about myself before we dive in. I did start out in the mental health field and then discovered that we are more than just our brains, that we are a whole person. We have a mind, we have a body, and we have a heart. And we need to access all three in the healing process in order to create lasting change, which I'm sure all of you are here for. It's what I'm here for. I am not interested in short term fixes. I want to get to the heart, I want to get to the source, and I want to heal from the inside out. And so that's what I have been studying for the last 30 years is how that transformation actually happens and how to help my clients make lasting changes in the ways that feels aligned, in a way that feels um, like it's a part of who they are and not something they're fighting against themselves to do. A lot of times it feels like change feels like hanging on by our fingernails and using willpower. And what I have found is that there is a better way, and that when we can get all three of our all parts of ourselves on board, our mind, our body, and our heart, that change becomes less white knuckleish and more easeful and graceful, and can have some compassion and acceptance in that mix as well. So I love the art of meditation. I've used it in my practice as a way to create that lasting transformation and teach my clients how to create that lasting transformation. So, we're going to do a lot of interaction. I love to, when I'm in a group, a live group, I really love the group experience. I feel like it is a co creation. I'm not just here spouting out information. That's helpful, but again, that's only our brain. So if we want to really take home some lasting lessons from this experience, I want to involve your body and your heart as well, which means getting you involved. So I'm going to be asking you some questions, asking you to drop some responses in the chat. I'm also going to be taking you through an experiential exercise. We're going to put into practice some of the things that we're talking about, and we're going to do a little bit of journaling before that. And I find that that's helpful, especially in a Zoom setting where it does feel a little bit more distracting. It's not quite as easy to just drop in when we're in a Zoom setting. So I find that journaling is a really powerful practice to kind of help center and calm our brain so we can drop in and do more of that heart and body meditation work. So we're going to be talking about different types of meditation. We're going to be talking about why even do it, why it helps, why it's powerful in the healing process. And then I'm going to be taking you into a practice so that you can actually feel some of the benefits of that. So first of all, to start off, I would love for just everybody to drop in the chat. Where are you in the United States, in the world? Where are you calling in from? I would love to just shout out where you're all at so I can have a general sense of where everybody's at. Salt Lake City, Wyoming. Fantastic. To our quick Molly and Rachel. Yeah, Dustin, Minnesota, Texas, Washington. Woo, I'm in Washington as well. St. George, fantastic. Austin. Oh, my bad, Minnesota. Oh. Well, I love that you are all here calling in from all over the place and that you're taking this time out for yourself. One thing I like to invite in all of my presentations is that you listen for the one takeaway. You're going to get a lot of information, you're going to experience a lot in your mind and your body and your heart, but our brain likes to go into overwhelm and it likes to think, I have to remember it all. And really, you only have to remember the one thing that you came here to hear. And you're going to know what that is by the end of the call today. You're going to know why you followed that little nudge that said, you know what, I think I need to show up today. So be listening for that. It's going to be individual to you. It's going to be a little drop in your heart that just is like, yep, that's what I needed to hear today. So listen for that, because that one takeaway is where all the magic happens. That's all you need from today, is that one little takeaway to get what you need. So I want to start out just getting a pulse check of where everybody's at. So I want you to go ahead and just close your eyes for a moment. Don't worry, everybody is closing their eyes, so it's okay. Nobody's looking at you. And I want you to just take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. Just kind of feeling that drop into your body. We're going to do one more, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And now just kind of tune in with your body. How are you feeling? Where are you at right now? If you were just to describe in one word how you're feeling right now, just pay attention and be aware of that. Okay, now go ahead and open your eyes and just drop that in the chat. What's the one word that describes how you're feeling right now? Content. Overwhelmed. Okay. Calm. Sad. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for your honesty, right? Hungry. Yeah, me too, Kim. That's right where I'm at. Satisfied. Oh, what was that when you shouted it out?
Excuse me, I didn't mean.
Okay, no problem. No problem. And you're always welcome to hop in with your voice if anybody wants to, if it feels more comfortable to shout it out versus putting it in the chat. But one of the things that we recognize is that we can be all over the place, right? Some of us are content, some of us are sad, some of us are overwhelmed, some of us are satisfied. We're coming into this space from all different places, and that's okay. And that's what we're here to talk about, is greeting ourselves and meeting ourselves where we're at. So I want to just get a sense of where you all are at with your understanding of the benefits of meditation. Okay, I'm gonna ask you in just a moment to let me know one benefit that you know of why meditation works. One benefit that you know of, and that's, you don't have to drop it in right now. I'm going to talk about 4 different types, but then we're going to be talking about 5 different types, and then after I'll ask you to drop in and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So there are basically 5 different types of meditation. The first is like filling up, and that's more like you're trying to increase or change your feeling state. So you're filling up intentionally with a new emotion, right? So I'm creating a new emotion in my body. I'm tapping into what I'm currently feeling and I'm filling up with a new emotion. Okay, that's a filling up type of meditation. The second is emptying out. That's what we typically think of when we think of meditation. It's where I'm just trying to clear out my mind and not think about anything. One of the things that I like to encourage you to do is to recognize that thoughts are just like breathing. So we can't tell our brain to not think. Sometimes we think that that's when I'm meditating, right? Is when my brain is empty. And it actually is just a practice of letting the thoughts move through and practicing not attaching to the thoughts versus not having any thoughts at all. But there is that sensation of just being still, emptying out. The third type of meditation is simply mindfulness. The definition of mindfulness is just moment to moment, non-judgmental awareness. So you can be mindful as you're driving. You can be mindful as you're doing the dishes. You can be mindful on a walk. You can be mindful while you're eating. Mindfulness is simply a moment to moment, non judgmental awareness. It's a practice of living moment to moment in awareness and not attaching any judgment to what you're thinking, feeling, experiencing. It's just being present in the moment. Okay. The fourth type is breath work. And breath work is involved mostly with all of these different types of meditation, but breath works, the intent of breath work is to change the physical sensation and state of our body. So if we're in a state of stress, we can use breath work to calm ourselves down. If we want to get more energy, we want to increase our motivation or our desire, we can use a different type of breath to increase our motivation. So breath work is a way that we can work with our body and the way that we're feeling in our body to change what we're experiencing. Okay. And then the fifth type of meditation is co-creation and healing meditation. That's actually what we're going to be doing at the end. It's a form of meditation where we're thinking greater than our own mind. That's a quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza. We're thinking beyond what our mind and our brain can think, right? We want to create a different experience. That's also, it's a type of healing where we can drop into the parts of ourselves that are holding ourselves back, where we are wanting to create something new, but then we feel like we're running into that invisible brick wall, like we're stopping ourselves or getting in our own way. Those unconscious blocks are there for a reason. They're there to protect us. They're there to keep us safe, but they can feel very frustrating because we're not moving forward. So we have this desire to change. We want to change, and then we go and take action on that change. We want to exercise more. We want to eat better. We want to meditate on a regular basis. We want to take care of ourselves. We want to think differently about ourselves. And yet it feels like when we start to take action, we get stuck in the way that our brain has always functioned, and we feel like we're going nowhere, right? And that's where we try to tap into the willpower. Like if I just hold on, if I just force my way into change, then I'll change. And what I have found is that when we can drop into the body and when we can recognize what the block is and work with our subconscious, we can actually make a change that is lasting instead of trying to willpower our way through. So that's going to make a whole lot more sense when I take you into the meditation. It's not nearly as complicated as it just sounded. It's actually pretty simple. So for right now, what I want you to drop into the chat is one benefit that you know meditation brings. Even if it's just a guess, what do you know or guess meditation does for you? Why would you even do it? Clarity. Yep. Beautiful. And I'm going to talk more about each of these, but I love that we're dropping them in right now. It grounds my emotions. Absolutely. Yep. Coming back to that neutral place. Calming the nervous system, 100%. Yep. slows down my thinking. Yep. Clarifies that clarity, that clarification, big one. Yeah. Watching my thoughts instead of being attached to them with ego. That's a really big one. I like have you there's a Dr. Seuss book where it's the watchers, the watchers, and they're like watching the watchers. It's like this line of people that are like watching the watchers. That's always what I think of when I think of a watching my thoughts. Like I'm like a watcher. I'm watching my thoughts. Reset. Yes, I love that. Okay, so, and feel free to continue dropping them in if more come to you. But right now, I want to just talk a little bit more and expand on some of these so that we have an understanding of just kind of why it is that we want to, why would we even think about using meditation? Uh, that clarity piece is really big. That was mentioned twice. For the some of the most successful people in the world meditate on a daily basis. Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, they meditate because there is that access to higher thinking. There is a clarity that comes. And that is because when we drop out of our mind and the stress response in our body, when we turn down that stress response, instead of having only three options, which are fight, flight, or freeze, or I guess four, because you can fawn as well, right? That's our stress response. Those are the only four options we have. When we're in a state of stress, the only four responses we have, the only four options we have are stress, are fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. When we can drop out of that stress response, it opens up our mind to possibilities that we couldn't see before. That's where that clarity comes in. We start to experience or see options that just weren't even available. We couldn't even see them when we were in a stressed state. Okay, that grounding is really powerful as well. Grounding, one of the benefits in our body is that we do feel that our emotions start to come down. We start to see things through a less emotional lens. The calming of the nervous system, that's exactly what's happening. Like physiologically in our body, we are literally turning off the stress response. And so it's allowing us to think more clearly and to have a different experience in our body. Slows down my thinking, yep, and watching my thoughts instead of being attached to them. Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why, from a mind, body, and heart experience, what are the benefits? All right. So in our mind, we know that meditation reduces in depression and anxiety. It helps ADD. It's an opportunity to kind of help your brain redirect and come back, and it reduces stress. In our body, it reduces inflammation. That's again, that nervous system calming down, turning down the stress response in our body. It allows our body to decrease the stress, decrease inflammation, reduce cravings, improve immunity, and have better sleep. But from a heart level, we talked about the benefits in our mind, the benefits in our body. From a heart level, this is where I think it gets really fascinating. I talk a lot about there's a first voice and a second voice. The first voice is that heart voice. It's kind of the truth of who we are. It's that part of us that feels like the best version of ourselves. And we catch glimpses of that version of ourselves. There's times when we feel like, yes, I know that she's in here. I know that he's in here, right? Like there's that truth of who we are. The problem is that the second voice often gets in the way. And that second voice is all the noise in our head. It's all the doubt, the fear, the patterns and the programming that we've developed over time. And that second voice gets really loud and noisy. So when we start to try to show up as who we want to be, oftentimes that noise gets in the way and it stops us. It gets in the way of becoming who we want to be or making the changes that we want to make. When we can use meditation, we're literally dropping out of the noise in our head, that second voice, and we're dropping into our heart. We're turning up the volume on that first voice. There's one of the things that I have found that my clients experience is that there is a practice or just a permission to not have to do anything and to still feel worthy. One of my clients was, she was a very successful businesswoman, and she felt the nudge, felt the nudge in her heart to stop. She wanted to spend more time with her family. She wanted to step away from this very successful business that she had established, but she felt she couldn't do that. She felt guilty. She felt like I'm letting go of everything that I just built up. But when she dropped out of her head and into her heart, she was able to really turn up the volume on what she wanted and be okay, give herself permission to just receive, to just be without having to do anything, to be worthy, to be okay, to just practice feeling okay without having to be productive all the time. That's one of the kind of subtle benefits of meditation, is that we just get to be still and we get to be okay not doing anything at all. And that can be a hard thing to wrap our minds around, right? If we have a very productivity based worthiness idea. Like, if I'm not being productive, then I'm not worthy. And what if slowing down was actually the most productive thing you could do? Because you're calming the nervous system, you're slowing down your thinking, you're gaining clarity, you're getting out of the stress response so that you can think more clearly and have more options, right? But sometimes we have to reframe that it's actually okay to just be still. So, all right. So we're also, when we drop into the heart, we're tapping into that thinking greater than our own brain. We're able to tap into that. Some people call it universal consciousness. Some people call it co-creation with God. Some people call it a manifestation. You can, whatever works for you, you are in a place where you don't have to use your mind. You can create from something greater. And that's a really cool place to think about. So let's get into a little bit of a practice here. So this is where I want you to pull out your journals. This is where we're going to kind of make sense of everything and pull it all together. So a couple of tips with meditation. First of all, never underestimate your desire to bolt. Your body is going to want to move. You may feel antsy. There's been times in meditation that I have all of a sudden had this like huge craving for chocolate come up. And sometimes you'll feel emotions that maybe you've kept at bay because you've been so busy and you haven't been still. So just recognize and acknowledge that all of it gets to be a part of it. Anything that comes up is okay. It's a part of the experience. And you can just practice that awareness and letting go. This meditation that we'll be doing is a little bit more intentional. So we're going to be following a sequence. which I find helpful, especially if you first start with meditation. This is also very much a healing and letting go meditation. Okay. So pull out your journal. And we're going to answer a few questions here in your journal. This is just for you. This is for you to practice, to put into practice this idea of creating and dropping from your mind into your heart and creating from a different place. So I want you to, first of all, write down, what is something you want to create or experience differently? What would you like to create or experience differently? Okay. And what lets you know when you have this? Okay, so I want you to just imagine that you have what you want, right? What you want to create or what you want to be experiencing differently. What would let you know that you have this? What would you be doing? What would you be thinking? What would you be feeling? Okay, just about 15 more seconds. You can think about this like you're painting a picture, like if you were watching from the outside. How would others be interacting with you? How would you be showing up in the world? Okay. Now, I want you to imagine that you are moving forward. You are taking action on creating this or have in the past. What stops you or gets in the way? Okay. And now, when you think about that obstacle, whatever stops you or gets in the way, how do you feel? What's the word that would describe, or several words that would describe that feeling of stopping yourself, or what gets in your way, or feeling stuck, whatever that is? What's that? What's the feeling? You're naming that feeling. And now, where does that feeling live in your body? If you were to name where you feel that sensation of frustration or disappointment or confusion, whatever your word is or words, where do you feel that in your body? And it can just be a guess, doesn't have to be right. It can just be a sense. There's really no way you can mess this up. So anything that comes to mind, where might this live? Okay, now, final question before we move into the meditation. What does this feeling want for you? Okay, now that might be a little bit of a brain teaser, but if this were here, if this obstacle were here for your good, what might that be? Could it be protection? Could it be keeping you safe? Could it be letting you know that you're headed in a direction that isn't safe? Or trying to keep you from getting hurt? Or trying to keep you from feeling like a failure? Like, if I don't try, then at least I don't fail. That one can be a little bit of a brain teaser. And I promise you, there is a very good reason that you're stopping yourself. Okay. Sometimes it's teaching me how to have compassion for myself, right? No matter where I'm at. Okay. So I want you to keep this handy. We're just going to drop you. You may need to reference your notes throughout the meditation. You may just be able to let the experience flow, and the things that you've written down will come back into your awareness. Either one is fine. You get to just experience this in the way that works best for you. I typically have music, but I don't think I can share. Well, maybe I can. I'm going to see if I have sharing access. Well, maybe I do. We'll see. We'll see if this works. If it doesn't, I've done it plenty of times without music, so that's okay too. All right.
This can give you sharing access too, Miss.
Yeah, let me just see if you can hear this. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. I already had sharing access, so that's great. Okay, so go ahead and just get comfortable. If it feels more comfortable to turn your camera off, you can. Either way is fine, but we're all going to be here in the same space, closing our eyes. So whatever feels most comfortable for you is okay. So I want you to go ahead and just close your eyes. Allow yourself to take a couple of slow, deep inhales in through your nose. Exhaling out through your mouth. Letting yourself just drop with your breath. And again, in through your nose, filling your belly with air. Exhaling out through your mouth. And third breath This time slow, long, and deep. Slowly taking that breath in, feeling your belly expand. And exhaling, feeling yourself dropping into your chair, feeling yourself melting into the cushioning beneath you. Now just noticing your breath, noticing how it's coming in through your nose and out through your nose. Just being aware, noticing any thoughts or any sensations in your body and just allowing them to be here. Non-judgmental awareness. And now taking another deep, slow inhale into your belly, feeling your belly expand with air, and this time letting it rise up into your chest. Maybe even feeling like your chest is opening as you're filling up with air, feeling your heart space open. And then exhaling and feeling yourself just dropping into your heart space. Now I want you to bring to mind something that fills you with gratitude. Maybe it's a person in your life. Maybe it's warm sunshine on your face. Maybe it's a child sleeping. Just feel this gratitude, maybe bring a smile to your face. Letting this gratitude grow in your heart. And feeling it overflow into your body. Feeling this warmth of gratitude spreading. Maybe feeling that smile spread through your whole body. And now feeling that gratitude expanding into the world around you. Feeling like it's just spreading and growing. Maybe sharing a little bit of that smile and that gratitude with those around you. And now from this space, I want you to imagine that version of you that already has what you want. Bring to mind that picture. Living in that space of what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Bringing this picture up like a movie in your mind. Seeing yourself interacting with the world as the version of you who already has made this change, who already has what you want. Feeling the feelings that it brings up in your body. noticing the thoughts that it brings into your mind. Just breathing here for a couple of breaths. Letting yourself come back into your breath. If it feels like it's hard to hold the picture, that's okay. Just come back to noticing your breathing. No judgment. Just awareness and acceptance. And now I want you to go ahead here and go into that part of you that you feel is stopping you or getting in the way. Just notice where that part of you lives in your body. That frustration or disappointment, that block. Now I want you to just take your breath and breathe into that space like you're embracing that part of you with a warm hug. Sending your breath surrounding that part of you. Now I want you to just allow yourself to notice, what am I grateful for? For this part, I'm grateful to this part of me. For what? Just allow that to rise up into your awareness. I'm grateful to this stuck part of me for keeping me safe, for showing me how to love myself unconditionally, for teaching me acceptance. And now letting this part of you know, I forgive you for. Letting this part of you know what needs to be forgiven. Just coming back to your breath at any time where it feels like you're complete. Letting whatever is there to bubble or rise to the surface. And now I want you to come back once again to what you are creating. Come back to that picture of creating what you want. Living as the version of you who already has it. Noticing what it feels like to step into that version of you from a different place, from love, from compassion, from acceptance, from forgiveness. Imagining that you have what you want. It's already here. Noticing what it feels like in your body to be experiencing that. Breathing that in, feeling the breath moving through you. Coming back to your inhale and exhale at any time. Just being present with where you're at. And now just noticing if there is a message or if there is a next step. What is one thing that feels like the next step in moving towards what you want to create, no matter how small that step is? Letting that step bubble up from your heart. Maybe comes from a place of knowing. Noticing that whatever comes up is exactly right. And now just allowing yourself to rest here for a moment. Letting your mind be free. Just focusing on the inhale and the exhale. One more inhale and one more exhale. And then feel yourself coming back into the room. Feeling yourself coming back into your body, feeling your seat on the chair. And taking a deep and clearing breath. And coming right back. Now, if you felt something that felt like a next action step, or something that you felt a message, or something that you felt you needed to do, go ahead and write that down. And then would love to just hear what your, if you have any questions, experiences, thoughts. What were you noticing? What were you present to during that experience? And feel free to come off mute. Sometimes it's easier to speak it.
For me, it's always kind of hard in the creation part because it's something you're not in yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So being able to step into what it is that you're wanting to create, it can kind of have an ebb and flow of actualization, you know, where it's like okay, this is what I want. How do I feel into that? Whereas, like, when you go back to what it is that's holding you back, that's easy because you can, that's something that you're
Mm-hmm.
familiar with, you know? So,
Yeah,
so stepping into that creative part is, there's like those moments where you kind of get it just right. But for me, at least, I'm kind of, it's a process for me to stay there.
absolutely. And that is why it's a meditation practice. It's the concept that I talk a lot about, which is where you shine your light is what you see, and what you see is the direction you'll go. Right? We often, with the clients that I work with, we have a very clear picture of everything that we're not, right? That's very clear. And like you said it so well, Tanisha. It's like we're familiar with that. We live that. And so it feels very familiar to have a clear, definite picture of all that I am not. And if we want to go in a different direction, we have to shine a light on everything that we are. When I work with my clients, that's the first place we begin. Because in order to head in that direction, we have to create a picture of what it is that we want, all that we are. And that's the beauty of meditation. This is like the the weight room of creating what we want, because every time we do a rep in meditation, even if it's not about staying in that picture, it's about recognizing and accepting, oh, like I'm out of that energy, I'm out of that feeling of what I want, and I can bring myself back to that and just imagine, right? And it may feel like, I had one of my clients who said, I can believe 0.0001%, right? That's all she could do, 0.0001%. I can believe that change is possible by 0.0001%. And guess what? She completely changed her life, 0.0001% at a time. And it was just this practice of coming back to, who am I versus all that I'm not, shining your light in that direction. And that's exactly what we're doing in this creation meditation. We're intentionally shining our light in the direction of what we are versus what we're not. So thank you, Tanisha. Anybody else?
I have something. Um, I'm not sure how to say what I'm thinking though. I've been feeling stuck for a while, and like during the meditation, something unlocked, and I just started crying. Um, and um, I don't know, during the first part of your lecture, I was treating it more like a lecture and like trying to cook at the same time. And then as we started doing the meditation, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this. And like the dog is trying to get my attention. And then I'm like realizing like I stopped cooking kind of around the time started journaling and stuff, like because I can do two things at once and the old me used to, but it's like what is my intent is what I try to ask myself a lot now is like um so instead of just like doing and checking a box, it's more about like being present and interacting and learning. So like the intent here every week is to focus on mental health. So um I don't know, I really liked the way you guided the meditation. I've been doing meditation probably for 10-ish years. And I hadn't done one like that before, so that's really cool. And like it just helped me realize that like the gratitude thing is hard for me sometimes. And right now I'm cooking for my friends at work that usually feed me, so it's like I'm struggling with an eating disorder, and like they bring in their baked goods and everything. So like once a month I make them lasagna as a thank you, and that's what I'm doing right now. So it's like I don't know, that's what I really focused on. My gratitude was like work is really hard and stuff, but those friends and stuff like that. So yeah, I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you so much for sharing your experience. I know that that is something that is helpful to more than just one on this call. So I really appreciate you sharing and sharing from your heart. And I'm curious, there was a knowing, there was a little call of your heart that said, stop, be still, be present. What did that do for you?
I think of it like a signal. Like I used to think kind of ignore those things in my brain, or when I start to notice something, I would like, numb, distract, avoid. But now instead I try to use it instead of like a as a fear thing, more of like an alert, like, hey, kind of turn and look inward and see what's going on, So
Yeah, yeah, I
but
love that.
it's a practice, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I usually feel a deeper connection to myself and understand myself more when I do lean in and learn from those things.
Yeah, yeah, I love what you said about leaning in. And one of the things that I talk about a lot is pain, PAIN, is an opportunity to pay attention inside now. Like you said, it's an indicator. It's something instead of avoiding and running away from, just like we did in the meditation, we turn toward it. And what is this here for? And what's so powerful about that is what unlocks and allows you to move forward. Sometimes we want to avoid the pain and run away from it and distract and um, have all the coping mechanisms that feel really good at the moment, but then keep us stuck and keep us in unhealthy behaviors. And what you're recognizing is that, hey, when I turn inward, when I get present with that emotion, it actually allows me to move forward instead of feeling so stuck. So I appreciate that. So I would invite all of you to take a moment after the call. We're up at our time, but write down that one insight or aha that you had today. What was the one thing you came here to hear? Write that down because that is that 0.0001% that is going to make the difference for you in helping you to become who you want to be and make those changes you want to make in your life. So I appreciate you having me as always. It's a pleasure.
We love having you, Miss. Thank you so much. That was awesome for me. It's funny how I'll almost resist some of those meditative pieces. And then once I actually do it and I finish, I'm like, why do I not do this more often? So I hope you guys utilize these videos too. I mean, this is something that would be great to go back to and even revisit that guide through all of that. But thank you for showing up. Thank you for being
Can I say one more thing? Sorry, I forgot. I want to make sure that you all know that there's a resource out there for more meditations. I have a podcast. It's called Aligned Heart. And on that podcast, I teach a principle and then I record a separate meditation for each episode. So you have access to 60 plus meditations out there on different topics. So just wanted to make sure you all are aware of that.
And you can find that on like the Apple Podcasts or the Spotify, all those. It's all on there, right?
Yeah,
We just
Aligned Heart.
that one.
It's
Perfect.
good. I listened to it.
Oh, thank you.
I just did the Be Still and Know one on Saturday.
Oh, wonderful.
Awesome. Awesome, Ash. Awesome. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Next week, we have Dr. Tate himself. He will be running the show next week. So we're excited always to have him. Thank you for being here and showing up. Please revisit, and we will see you all next week. Thank you, Misty. We love you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Thanks all.